things to share with you. So if you'll stick around, we'll see how strange things might seem, or maybe not. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Black Spring on your Friday. And I will not make this take too long. I know it's a Friday and it's 8:55 in the p.m. And if you're on the West Coast, it happens to be, well, just in the 5:56 of the p.m. So hope you're doing well out there. I really appreciate you guys so much for coming in. I have a couple of stories, couple of liners for you. Some of them you may have heard of. Some of you may not have. But yeah, we'll get into them all. So just take a quick break here to say thanks to our patron subscribers, and we'll be right back. We'll just a couple of infomercials. All right, guys, and we're back. Thank you so much for tuning in on your Friday. I really appreciate it. All right, so there's lots going on, right? A lot of things going on. We're going to look at things, of course, here in the States, and then, of course, we're actually going to take a little bit of a global turn on this stream real quick. Marty Lauderdale, thank you so much for coming in. Hope you're well. And hello to California Dreaming in NYC. Yeah, please resubscribe as you wish. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. So happy to see you. Nice to see you as well. All right. So what I want to do is thank you so much for that, California Dreaming in NYC. So what I want to get into on this particular stream is I have quite a few links, but I want to show you something first that we've taken a look at before. We actually had, I think on one of the last streams that I had, a bit of a panel. Shout out to Marcy T. Hope she's out there somewhere. I want to share with you, we're on a little edition that I call Have You Seen This? So I want to kind of go over with you. We did look at some videos, but I'm also going to be cross-referencing some of those videos we were able to see, and some of the footage I was able to show you on local news, the ones that actually came into the Georgia area. So I want to show you a list. I promised a list of facilities that have been destroyed, and I have a little bit more detail. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. I'm also going to be sharing we're going to talk about the regime, this ministry, or this disinformation board that's been, announced by the Biden regime and, the DHS. We're going to, have a look at that, as well as just some of the other. We're going to talk about Elon Musk just a little bit. And I will tell you, I want to say this. I think we should all, relieve ourselves of disillusions or illusions. And I'm not under any illusion. I don't, in my honest opinion, I'm not. So I can conceive of many things because I'm not. I don't think I am. I think it makes a difference. So let's get started here. Let's go ahead and start with the have you seen this? That's something that I do around here. I hope you guys are doing well. So let's have a look at this. Have a look at some of the shortages. It's like a shortage on demand, right? When there's a crisis, it's like they kind of help themselves, what is it, the Hegelian dialectic. So we're going to go ahead and look at that really quick. Thank you so much for coming in for Stranger Things. Have And so we're back. All right. So let's go ahead and go have a look at this list because let's see, we have a comment here from California Dreaming in NYC. She said, so many people are not taking any of this seriously. I'm trying to get out of the city. I hear you. I hear you. All right. So let's go ahead and let's share this situation. We've been talking about these plants. So I have a list now. Okay. I'm going to share the screen with you. Let me know if you can see or not. I'm going to read through these very quickly. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right. Okay. So this is our little edition that I call Have You Seen This? And we do that around here. So if you haven't been around to see this, you'll get to see it just now. And I'm going to change the tune here a little bit because it's a little hokey. But, it's kind of depressing. Sometimes we got to groove to hide the tears, for all of us emotionally connected people. All right, so we're going to stop it right here. Okay, as you can see here, you actually have a list in front of you right now. So, if you're in disbelief, I always say, you guys, please do your own due diligence. I'm bringing you the things here that are of my conviction and of my own, research, and, do your due diligence. You got to satiate yourself. You got to satisfy yourself. I'm not saying you're going to achieve that here. I'm not saying that's my ultimate goal. It's to present and, go from there. So I'm going to read these just a bit here. Okay. So what we have quite a bit of a list here and some details. I think it's quite the compilation. So let's have a look at this a little bit in depth here. Okay. So as you can see, we have dates to go with our food plants. We have locations as well as the destruction by the source of destruction, or the reported destruction here. So as you can see, we have I've counted about 23 of these locations. We had a Monday, April 18th, 2022, the Azure Standards headquarters out of Oregon, and destruction by fire. Wednesday, April 13th, 2022, Taylor Farms in Salinas, California. We did go over that one, and we did see the video of that one, destruction. We have Wednesday, April 13th, 2022, Gem State Processing, Idaho, airplane crash. We have Monday, April 11th, 2022, East Conway Beef and Pork, New Hampshire, destruction by fire. Thursday, March 31st, 2022, Rio Fresh, Texas, destruction by fire. Looks like most of these are destruction by fire. That's the common denominator I see here. And I told you, to me, on a spiritual level, I think that's, we've heard about things being we've heard of promises and things. When it comes to destruction by fire is, that's something that you can find scripturally, but I'm not sure, where this will end. Okay, but see, we'll just keep going here. So you have Monday, March 28th, Marco Bia Food Pantry, Arizona, fire, destruction by fire. Wednesday, March 16th, 2022, Walmart Fulfillment Center, Plainfield, Indiana, fire. Looks like we have That was either duplicated or maybe, I think it's a duplicate here. But Sunday, March 13th, 2022, Hot Pockets plant out of Jonesboro, Arkansas, destroyed by fire. Monday, February 28, 2022, Shearer Foods, Hermiston, Oregon, a boiler explosion. And you see the list goes on. I don't see the one that was near. I do see that there's the Cobb County, Georgia one with the Patak meat processing facility that was destroyed by fire. So you get a little bit of a common denominator in here, and I see it's mostly by fire. We didn't see a ton of them, ton of the ones from, this is probably not the end of it because it seems to be ongoing. Other airplane, because there was another one here that was that someone lost their life in the actual airplane crash in the destruction of one of the other plants here. So you can chew on that, right? Okay, let's see who's in the house with us. Hi, Marcy T. All right, so you can see before you the list of destructions and plants and whatnot. So you guys comb over these. If you're coming to our stream later, you can come in and have a gander for yourself. This music is so loud. Okay, so have a gander for yourself, and you can cross-reference these at any time. But when something's in your neck of the woods, I know it'll be even more, more real to you. Okay. So I appreciate you guys so much for that. But that comes from our Have You Seen This section. So I'm going to get us out of there and we're going to move on to something else. But I just wanted you to be able to see the list of what's been compiled so far. Let's see, hang on just 1 second. I really appreciate you guys so much for coming in here. Okay, so that once again, that comes out of our Have You Seen This? So yeah, that was the end of that. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing that screen with you. I really appreciate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little trip. I want to have a look at this story because it's starting to feel like tyranny around here. Yeah, it seems like not 1984, but like 1934, these things that are going on, things that have occurred in history before. And looks like that's what we got going on. So we're going to have a look at something out of the Gateway Pundit. And then we're going to go to the Great Game India, in which we have their administration. It's the Nigeria blocked 73 million mobile phones for not registering in the National Digital Identity Database. Can you guys see where we're going here? Is it jiving with you guys a little bit? So let's have a look here. Hi, Marty, once again. All right, so let's go over to the Gateway Pundit. Let's start at the home front first, shall we? Let's start there. And hopefully you guys got a chance to look at that, the list there. I may play it again. I may show it again before we're out of here today, but you can, do your due diligence. If you're in any of those areas, you can report anything you want. You can always send me information and I'm happy to share your findings also. All right, so let's go over to the Gateway Pundit here. And then I do want to talk about Elon Musk. I do, because I think it's time for people. It's like the Matrix is so real and we just can't get out from underneath it. But I think that is the illusion that's going to cost people in the long run. So I'm sharing the wrong one, but I guess we could start with this one. So let's have a look at this. Actually, no, I said I kind of want to stick to what I said we were going to do. We'll go back to this one. So let's go to the home front first, okay? Because home is looking a little bit more foreign to me right about now. So I just gotta say. Okay, so we're going to go here. Gateway, and then we'll go to Great Game India. And then I want to talk about Elon Musk a little bit. I want to talk about his Joe Rogan's podcast. And I want to talk about this from, this is not going to be a freedom talk. It's going to be what I'm going to give you my conviction, because I'll get into it in just a second. So I just want to make sure I don't forget it. All right, so let's go first with the Biden regime announces creation of a, quote, disinformation governance board, end quote, under the authority of Homeland Security with a lunatic in charge. Okay, so what have I been saying a little bit on this channel? For one, I've said this before. It looks like that somehow, what the heck is Congress doing at all? It's like there is no, it's almost like we're under strong delusions. We're still under very strong delusions that there's actually two different, that there's this party line that exists. You got Democrats and you got Republicans. Okay, so why do we have all these three-letter agencies making the rules? Did you guys elect DHS? Have you guys elected the CDC? Because every time there's something pivotal that's going on, it's like it's all between, the dialogue is between the three-letter agencies and the Supreme Court now. So what does Congress actually do? Do they not have enumerated powers anymore? Or I'm just saying. Help me out. Okay, so let's get into this a little bit, because I'm telling you, this is feeling a little bit tyrannical to me. And this guy, Mayorkas, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay, according to this, following Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter last week, which was a triumphant victory in the ongoing war over free speech, the Biden regime announced the creation of a, quote, disinformation governance board, end quote, that will be tasked with silencing anything deemed to be misinformation that's related to Homeland Security. And yes, it is just as dystopian and creepy as it sounds. The new board will operate under the authority of the Department of Homeland Security with a special focus on Russia and, quote, irregular migration, end quote, according to the Post-Millennial. This is it John Posobiec? He says President Biden has decided the federal government will launch a disinformation governance board under the authority of the Homeland Security Department. Did you think they would just let you have free speech back? You get it? Let you have. I'll keep going here. As we have seen over the past 6+ years now, the term, quote, Russian misinformation, end quote, is frequently used as a catch-all, a wide catch-all that includes most of what goes on against the liberal establishment. So the fact that they are specifically targeting this kind of, quote, misinformation, end quote, is that much more concerning. News of the board was first announced by the DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas while speaking at House Appropriations DHS Subcommittee hearing on Wednesday. Quote, Undersecretary for Policy Rob Silvers is co-chair of our principal Deputy General Counsel, Jennifer Gaskell, in leading a just recently constituted disinformation governance board. So we're bringing the goals. The goal is to bring the resources of the department together to address this threat, end quote. The Disinformation Board will be led by Executive Director Nina Jankowicz, who, as Posobiec reveals in a series of tweets, is an anti-free speech crusader and committed member of the radical left. She has even made her stance clear about crucial issues like the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop and this, I'm not even going to say it on here. I'll just keep going. Unsurprisingly, Jankowicz has publicly slandered 2020 election concerns as damaging lies, backed the proven false claim that the laptop from hell was Russian misinformation, and openly admitted to being just as concerned about, quote, domestic misinformation, end quote, as she is about foreign misinformation. In other words, the worst or best person for the job, depending on which side you are on. Okay? From Posobiec, this is the new head of Biden's Homeland Security Disinformation Governance Board. So you guys, of course, can abuse yourselves of, some of these images and some of her monologues or whatever online. This is, to me, the politics shellac is what I see this as. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. I think that there's going to be two things are going to be carried out here in this situation. And these are my convictions. And I just ask, you just do your own due diligence. I'm not trying to convince you. Do what you want to do. Shout out to Joseph Francis Burton. Thank you so much for coming in. He says silencing anything deemed to be misinformation that's related to Homeland Security. Okay, there you go. All right. So, here, this is Jankowicz. This is her comments. She's got the blue and yellow crane right up next to the U.S. flag. Considering, shout out to Uncle Paranoia. Considering the long-term damage these lies do to our democracy, I'm dismayed about this decision. I say this about foreign disinformation, and it applies to domestic disinfo too. Elections aren't an endpoint; they are an inflection point. Policies need to reflect that. So, okay, so we all get it that people saving their ad money by going onto these platforms. But I'm going to tell you just from my own assertions and things that I've taken a look at, that I don't think that Elon Musk invested 44 or 43, whatever the round number is, the 44 billion dollars to lose that amount of money either, because I think he has an entirely different agenda. I think that he is. I'm thinking this is he's going to release the Optimus in 2023. So in a way, AI is already running the show. So what better way to get people to get back on these platforms and start running their mouths? And basically, why not use this as some type of prototype for the release of this Optimus in 2023? Why not? Kind of like we can train the AI off, and we can save this information and use it with that program that's to come. I mean, not to mention he has Neuralink and all this other stuff. I mean, seriously, it's just to think, I mean, that it's like, okay, for me, maybe it's a trust issue or something, but most of these people, they're elite, okay? And they have their own agendas, okay? Do I think these people are coming in? It's not the savior, people. He's not your savior. He's not coming in here to save you. I mean, how many platforms have been released? How many platforms have been released and went bellied up? You get corralled, and this is, to me, another way of carousing, getting people together and getting them to start running their mouth. And guess what? It's really safe now between him, Zuckerberg, the metaverse company, and this Optimus that's going to be released in 2023. I think it's it's fair. I think it's more than fair. I mean, of course, this is probably not going to happen overnight, but you have all these creepy little companies that want to go into live forever mode, and you're just going to go on there and start yapping and running your mouth and get corralled and either get pushed off the ledge or get your information saved. That's going to come back to bite you in the bone hole. That's what I think you're up for. This is an investment. This is not a few dollars we're talking about. I mean, I don't really think this is a patriot act, a patriot move here. I mean, come on. What else have you got? What else have you got? Because of course, what can I say? The left faction wants to say, oh, he's a white man using his power. When are we gonna stop? When is this stuff gonna stop? The Matrix. When is it gonna stop? It's exhausting. This is a mega deal. So it's like, he's just gonna gift you your freedoms back and go and skip on his merry way. This just got a little bit of a gladiator kind of feel to it. It's like Rome. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna just give people their freedoms back, and then you're gonna go on your way, right on into the sunset, right? Free speech, but right off into the sunset. I just think it's just a little bit illusiony at this point with everything that's happened. Okay. So I just had to get that out. Had to get out. It's a power move. It's a power move. And he doesn't want to lose. Okay. So now that I got that out. So I'm just thinking it's an investment. This is an investment into potentially, like I said, an OJ, like a training for AI or something like that. But what else are they not using it? What are they not using it? What are we not being tested or prototyped on already? Most of these platforms, we are what was it? Outcast has a song that says, "You are the prototype." I mean, it's kind of a cool little song, a cool little tune, but I don't know. Yeah, but I don't think this is about free speech. Sorry. I just don't. Because actually I want to play some of that for you. I want to play that Joe Rogan's podcast with Elon Musk on there, and all the kinky things you're going to be able to do. You know, these people, I tell you, this stuff is going to be irresistible to some people. And then I guess on some level, it'll be made affordable for the masses, or at least on a lower level. I have no idea, but I'm just saying these are just my assertions. I think it's another Trojan horse, and yeah, that's what I think there. But I did digress there a little bit, but just not too far away. We were talking about what they're going to use this thing, because I think a lot of people are they're more concerned about these midterms and what's going to come out. I will say they're probably concerned about that, but the censorship will be real. And yeah, I really do. So we were on the Mayorkas and this truth ministry. Does this not feel like 1930 Nazi Germany, 1934? I mean, I guess if they're going to get their way in this situation, if DHS gets their way, you will have that. I mean, and they decide what's disinformation, misinformation, because they don't want you talking about. It's the gag order, the gag orders, the gag wars. This is what it feels like, the gag wars. And let me read some comments here, and then we'll move right along. Because this Nigerian situation, like you guys did, we got a whole new paradigm that we're dealing with worldwide, and it's all got some of the same symptoms: control, control, control. And then we talked about that also. It's part of narcissism. We talk about people mocking, mimicking, and basically grooming supplies, and we are the supply, and there's different grades of us. So they're going to need a constant supply in order to train AI. And guess who's the supply? Guess who's a part of the prototype? We are. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. Let's read a couple of comments. Angry conservatives here. He says, I wonder if there was another country that had a group of people take down disinformation. Right on, angry. Down. Yeah. Marty Lauderdale says, vast majority of our state and federal representatives aren't doing a damn. Sorry, you didn't say that. Sorry, Marty. They're not doing a dang thing to even report on, much less launch opposition to the corrupt practice taking place. And she says, also, did I see a guy that used to be Steve Bannon's has supposedly fled to Switzerland to release a bunch of info from no, I haven't seen it. Not at all. And Marty says, I agree. I don't trust any of them. I mean, yeah, I'm California Dreaming NY60. These nefarious entities, what the hell is wrong with these people? It's very exhausting. And Angry says, well, the grand jury isn't going to charge Trump with any charges. And Marty Lauderdale says the majority are sold out and cowards. Some are evil and wicked. Some are psychopaths wanting complete power and control over the masses. A whole lot of them are against, quote, we the people. All right, guys, you guys are coming in hot. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that one down so you can catch that over on the Gateway Pundit. But, I don't need to entertain this Jankowicz with her. I don't really need to, it's not a whole lot there. But, you can go over there. She says, cat's out of the bag. Here's what I've been up to in the past 2 months and why I've been a bit quiet on here. Honored to be serving the Biden administration at DHS Gov and helping shape our counter disinformation efforts. Hey, do these people believe that these people believe their own hype? Is that right? I mean, yeah. Okay. Let's just, I'm going to move us right along here. So, once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in on this segment of Stranger Things Have. Okay. All right. So, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to share this next story with you. We're going to go over to this, the Great Game India. See, this is what I'm saying. This is greatgameindia.com. And according to this, Nigeria blocks 73 million mobile phones for not registering in National Digital Identity Database. Holy mackerel, right? All right, so due to not registering in the National Digital Identity Database, the NIN, Nigeria has blocked a total of 73 million mobile phones, which is preventing them from making outgoing calls. Does that sound like a little bit of tyrannical measures, right? That's common denominator. Constance Kioma calls her son every morning to make sure he's safe while studying in northeast Nigeria, which is ravished by Islamic rebel attacks and armed kidnappings. Okay, all right. She couldn't get through earlier this month. She later discovered her SIM card was one of 73 million, more than a third of Nigeria's 198 million, that had been prevented from making outgoing calls due to a lack of registration in the country's digital identity database. Quote, I could not concentrate at work. I was uneasy and constantly asking myself if he was safe, quote, a 57-year-old teacher in Owerri, Nigeria said. Quote, with the rising insecurity in the north, not speaking with my son makes me afraid, end quote. Nigeria is one of dozens of African countries with SIM registration laws, including Ghana, Egypt, and Kenya. Authorities claim the regulations are required for security, but digital rights advocates believe they enhance monitoring and threaten privacy. For almost a decade, Nigeria has been issuing 11-digit computerized national identity cards, which contain a person's personal and biometric data, such as fingerprints and a photograph. To create a bank account, apply for a driver's license, vote, obtain health insurance, or file tax returns, you must have a national identity number, NIN. Every active mobile phone number in Nigeria must be connected to users' NIN by 2020, according to the country's telecommunications regulator. It has regularly delayed the deadline till this year's March 31st. Outgoing calls from any mobile phones that have not complied will be blocked from April 4th, according to the administration. Millions of Nigerians have not registered their SIM cards for a variety of reasons, including privacy concerns, difficulty reaching registration centers, and a lack of national identification number. Quote, there have been no reasonable explanations as to why we have to link our NIN to our SIM, end quote. Ninka Orji, a journalist in Southeast Nigeria who has not registered her SIM, said. Quote, for that reason, she told the Thomson Reuters Foundation, quote, I am not ready to do that, end quote. Despite the fact that not all of her contacts use WhatsApp, she now uses it to make calls. Requests for comments to the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, which oversees the linking with NIN, were not answered. Officials say the program is necessary to improve security and track down offenders as the government fights terrorists and armed bandits who have kidnapped hundreds of people for ransom. According to UN estimates, Nigeria's 12-year conflict with insurgent Islamists has resulted in one of the world's worst humanitarian disasters, with 353,000 people killed, including indirect deaths due to damage to agriculture and healthcare. Losing customers, privacy activists are concerned that African governments are exploiting new technology and regulations to intensify monitoring of individuals and dissidents as part of their push to compel citizens to link their mobile phones to the national ID database. According to human rights lawyer Festus Ogun, managing partner at Festus Ogun Legal in Lagos, Nigeria's decree banning unregistered phones is, quote, an infringement on the rights of freedom of expression and privacy, end quote, provided by the country's constitution. Quote, what law empowers them to shut out millions of citizens in this digital economy, end quote. He asked, referring to those who use their phones for banking, mobile money transactions, and government services. According to human rights organizations, the ban on mobile phones has harmed women in remote areas with patchy mobile networks and poor road networks who may lack the means to get to registration centers. Charity Elm, a street food vendor in Aurora village in the southwest Imo state, claimed she couldn't afford to get 60 kilometers, 37 miles to the registration center in Owerri City. Quote, some of my regular customers come from Owerri. With my line barred, I can't call them to find out if they want to place an order, end quote, she stated. Quote, they will probably go to other vendors, end quote. According to the official data, Nigeria has almost 800 registration centers, one in each local government office. An inquiry about the NIMC's accessibility was not answered. Others are concerned that their personal information will be compromised. Quote, I don't think that the NIMC and telcos have the right infrastructure to protect my data. Favor Akushukwa, a call center agent in Ibadan, southwest Nigeria, said. According to Shukwa, he has received multiple calls from fraudsters who have his 11-digit bank verification number, which is required to open a bank account in Nigeria. We are attempting to obtain further information from him in order to gain access to his account. War on crime. Authorities in Kenya have also ordered residents to register their mobile SIM cards, citing security concerns. The East African country has about 65 million mobile phone subscribers. Quote, financial fraud, kidnapping, terrorism, and related crimes prevail in situations of compromised SIM card registration processes. Ezra Chiloba, the Director General of Kenya's Communications Authority warned on Twitter last week. Okay, quote, how can we win the war against such crimes if we cannot participate by ensuring that we have updated records? Thousands of Kenyans rushed to Nairobi's local telecom outlets on April 15th, fearful of being locked out of their phones due to a registration deadline of April 15th. Quote, there have been so many fraudsters, I guess it's a good thing, end quote. Dennis Blessing Wanja, a 31-year-old chef, said he was queued outside a Safaricom branch in Nairobi's Lavington suburb. Okay, this is a little bit, there's a lot going on here. It looks like we're almost to the end. Sorry about that. Sorry about the smooches there. Authorities extended the registration deadline until October 15th after receiving complaints from the public and telecom firms about the short notice. Kioma's connection is weak in Nigeria, so we can't always reach her. She can't always reach her son when she calls him on WhatsApp. Quote, I never thought my line would be barred and that I cannot speak to him easily, end quote, she added. Quote, I feel like my connection with him is not so strong. Okay, so this is what's going on. So it's looking like we're about to be digitalized. What do you guys think? And pretty soon they're going to start locking people out of their bank accounts. I think that's something that could happen here. You know, they know the way to kind of get to kind of squeeze you, right? If they cut off your connections, cut off your way of buying and selling, you're going to get cut off. All right. Hi, Anarchy Television. Nice to see you. Joseph Francis Burton says, do all Nigerians own a smartphone? I don't even own a smartphone. All right. So Marty Lauderdale. Let's see, Marty. This is oops, typo. Meant the guy used to be on ON, Steve Bannon's show. He had released a bunch of info and it was deleted off cloud in like 3 to 4 countries with like an hour of posting. He had also given it to the FBI. Nothing happened. Even black SUVs started following him, etc. Switzerland was the only country not to delete it off the cloud. That's interesting. It's uncool paranoia. How are you? Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. So if you're just now coming in, we've kind of gone over a couple things, but the fact that Nigeria is blocking, they're showing their power. They're letting you know we've got the power. We are your government. We've got the power. We're going to block your mobile phones for not registering in the National Digital Identity Database. And I'm telling you, folks, this can happen here. I don't know what it is, what they call the cognitive bias, cognitive dissonance that seems that, it seems like America has a lot of that. They just don't think these things can happen here. And I do believe they're closing in. I do. I really do. So I'm just thinking at any moment, we could be for not complying with digital ID. We go from one thing to another, it seems. I'm going to put this pendulum out here just for a few seconds. We're not going to be here long because I'm going to wrap it up. But yes, so you're getting digitalized. I mean, and Nigeria has enough issues, true enough, but look what's happening at our border. I mean, by the time I just think we're not going to recognize this place pretty soon. And then we'll have different kinds of crimes. We'll have different kinds of, identities. Different things will be taken from us, more things that you work for. And then you'll have to resort to other things. So we'll see. I think this is a trap. We're getting set up for a trap or something. So Joseph Francis Burton says, yes, it can and will happen here. Only a matter of time. Return your smartphone. Such urgency in your tone there, Joseph Francis Burton. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's see where I was. Okay, so yeah, I did talk about the Neuralink thing. I wanted to show you that. I don't know if you guys see this particular podcast or any of these links, but I'm going to show a couple of those. And I think that'll wrap us up because we've kind of talked about, I feel like we're dealing with a 1934 kind of ministry, truth ministry. And it's just turning into that. It's just, yeah. And then Fauci's back on the scene. He's in, he's out, he's hot, he's cold, he's yes, he's no, he's maybe so. It's just like what's happening here, folks? It's dismal. Okay. So here, let me just try to get this little link out here because we're going to look at a couple of this Elon Musk. I mean, he's a little musky, right? I don't trust whatever this is. I think they're going to get your information for their little robots. The Optimus is like the great one. It translates from in Latin to the great one or great or the best. So who knows? I think we're probably training the AI right now on this channel. But Twitter is, who knows? We'll see what happens there. So let's have a quick look here. This is an older podcast. And because the Neuralink, let me just go ahead and share this one with you. This is where I want to go with this. Because I want to go there with you. But it's not this is his thing, okay? It's not mine. You can hear from him himself. It's on Joe Rogan's podcast. So we're going to have a look here. Look at the damage here. Now, this is what I hadn't heard. According to this, Elon Musk, this was done back in earlier this year. Talked about Elon Musk's Neuralink, quote, brain chip could give users orgasms on demand. Why would anybody not want that? Why? What could go wrong here? Okay, well, we'll leave. We'll stop. We'll put the brakes on. Pump the brakes. The revolutionary device could be implanted in human subjects by the end of this year, and some experts believe it could completely revolutionize human sexuality. Oh boy, these narcissists are going to lose it. Whew, they're going to lose it. Okay, so let me just go ahead and play some of this for you. Hope you guys are doing well out there. The narcissists will be, oh man, they'll melt down. Okay, supply will go down and won't be good. So here we go. This is Elon Musk claims Neuralink brain chip will fix almost. I'll just let you hear from him. Okay, here we go. Let's pull this off.
So what exactly is it? How do you do what happens if someone ultimately does get a Neuralink installed? What will take place?
Well, for version 1 of the device, it would be basically implanted in your skull. So, uh, but it would be flush with your skull. So you basically take out a chunk of skull, put the Neuralink device in there. Um, you'd put the electrode, you'd insert the electrode threads very carefully into the brain, and then you know stitch it up, and you wouldn't even know that somebody has it. And so then it can interface basically anywhere in your brain. So it could be something that helps cure, say, eyesight, like give you returns your eyesight, even if you've like lost your optic nerve type of thing.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Hearing, probably. I mean, pretty much anything it could, in principle, fix almost anything that is wrong with the brain. And it could restore limb functionality. So if you've got interface into the motor cortex, and then an implant that's, say, that's like a microcontroller uh, in your muscle groups, you could then create a sort of a neural shunt that restores somebody who's a quadriplegic to full functionality, like they can walk around, be normal.
Whoa.
Yeah,
So
maybe
it,
slightly better
slightly better.
over time. Yes.
You mean with future
Yeah.
iterations?
Like the $6 million man. Although
Right.
these days that doesn't
That's
seem like
pretty
much.
cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you get a little bit, now you get a little bit of, what can be done there. But hey, I'm just gonna keep going here. All right, so the billionaire Elon Musk has two wildly ambitious goals: to establish a permanent human colony on Mars and to create technology that links human brains with artificial intelligence. Okay, so of Musk's two futuristic dreams, it's the second one that has the most potential to change humanity. So as you can see, yeah, he has a little bit. It looks like he's been altered a little bit myself. I'm just saying, I could be wrong. He has a look to me like he's between. It's like two men. Like it's almost like he's fused somehow. I don't know. It just doesn't. It looks like a mad scientist to me. Okay, and that's like to me who's running the place right now. The mad people are running the place. Okay. So with this, while most of the early publicity about Neuralink, the SpaceX entrepreneur brain to computer interface has focused on its potential to unlock the lives of people living with severe paralysis by allowing to control robotic arms and even one day entire exoskeletons. The technology would change the way we think about the rest of us, the way that the rest of us think about, the rest of us communicate, learn, and have sex. So that is, you got a bit from him. So I'll disabuse you of any more of my my interpretations here. But I don't know. What's like the Metaverse company has some ideas too. It's Old Head Deuce 22. And yeah, the pendulum is out there. So, if you take a bite out of it, we're just going to make it brief and we're going to get in and out. It's a Friday night, but I just thought, well, just thinking you can't convince me that this is a free speech venture. You just can't. Okay. We've been talking about AI quite a bit, and Optimus they're going to try to get the Neuralink into people by the end of the year and then roll out this Optimus in 2023. I just think the agenda is a little bit more transhuman. I think it's, I don't know whether they're on target or not, but I do think he did not invest that money to lose it. I really don't. DHS, the midterms are coming up. Everybody's got their own. They're going to work everything under the auspices of, free speech and democracy, disingenuous stuff that it's the typical stuff that they do. And I really don't think the CV stuff is over. I don't think the CV-19 is over. I think the lockdown is coming back, and I've said that before. I really do. And it's going to be, they give you a little taste and then they're going to pull it back. All right. Okay, so let's go with Uncool Paranoia. She says he's supposed to be this big genius, but he sure has an issue delivering consistent thoughts. It's annoying to hear him talk. Yeah, I think he and what's his name, he and Gates to me are kind of a lot alike. Like, I mean, could they finish each other's sentences? Heck if I know. It'll be a challenge, okay? Uncool Paranoia says Neuralink is a Model T technology compared to the tech that's in the that burns, Uncool. You're running hot according to the algorithms. So yeah, the pendulum's out there for sure. But I really appreciate you guys for coming in and hearing my, checking out the lines, and yeah. But I haven't really talked about the French elections and the responses to that. She says, just saying. Yeah, well, bring it. We like to hear it around here. Let's see. All right, Joseph Francis Bird says, sorry, I don't agree with you about the lockdowns. They are over. Every person I know, including lots of lefties, are absolutely done with the CV stuff. Well, like I said, we'll see. On verra. We'll see. Because we're not quite, things have changed a little bit. And I don't know how far they're willing to go. I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell. And I think it's not going to be a long time. It's not going to be a long time. And we all wish, but some form of normalcy. Yeah, none of this. This doesn't. Every day there's micro. There's like, there's like I used to see a map of California where there's just little earthquakes and stuff going on all the time. Like there's a small earthquake every so many seconds. If you look at certain technology, and to me, this is no different. But something's going to come to a head. Somebody's got to try to make a move. You can't just have all these little spurts, going around all the time and nothing ever really kicking off. I just don't believe that either. I don't believe things are going to stay. No, I think these people are laundering money. I think the administration is asking for more money. It's not going to be the same. I don't think normalcy is not coming back. I saw a t-shirt that said, normal ain't coming back, but Jesus is. And I'll go with that. I'll go with that one. I really will. So yeah, Derek C. Williams is here. So we got the pendulum out. You got 7 minutes, about 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes to come in with the pendulum if you're interested. But Mr. Musk, just look. I mean, even his kids have bizarro land names. Who knows? Maybe they've already downloaded these people's consciousness. I don't know. Okay, like metaverse and what is the live forever mode? Where do you guys suspect they're going to get this information from? You could be immortal in the metaverse with the new. Let's look at that real quick. The New York Post, metaverse company to offer immortality. Okay, live longer for 150 years in metaverse. So yeah, I mean, honestly, this stuff is a little on the creep side, I don't think he's being used. I don't think he's being used for good here. Okay, folks, I don't. Derek C. Williams is here. All right, I'm going to stop sharing that one for just a second. You guys are fantastic on a Friday night. I really appreciate it. So let me have a quick look here. Well, I'm sharing the wrong thing here. But yeah, we did take a look at there were about 23 plants that we looked at earlier, the dates, the locations, the source of their destruction. We did look at that earlier. And we looked at the ministry, the truth ministry. But they had another thing about a reconciliation committee that they were doing, like after the elections, that they needed to make things whole and right again. So it looks like we're right back in that political matrix, right back on the scene again. All right, so let's look at this real quick. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard of this. That's why I put the pendulum out there. Feel free to come in and chime in on. Derek C. Williams has been hot on the trail here. So I just want to share this with you. So this was actually released April 15th, 2022. See, so many things getting on, like I am not keeping up. All right. So it says you could become, quote, immortal in the metaverse with new live forever mode. Okay. All right. This came out of the New York Post. So I don't know you guys see these characters right now. Somnium Space can already be accessed by the public and provides a metaverse experience. Okay, a metaverse company is offering the chance to live forever in its virtual world, even after you die in real life. Okay, how do you like that? Oh, Derek C. Williams is here. Shwing. Derek C. Williams, talk to us. How are you doing on this fine Friday? How are you doing?
Yeah. Shout out and respect due to Black Spring with Autumn. Intelligence done right. How you, young lady?
I'm doing well enough, Derek. I'm well enough to be here with you right now and answer, and you pick up the phone. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, living my life day by day, like Rambo said. Yeah. I have a video forthcoming with Elon Musk, and well, let me go back. In 2018, I was reading an article where this company, a defense company along the lines of DARPA, is called Boston Dynamics. And back 4 years ago, I read this article. It may still be on their website, but they had a prototype, a 7-foot tall, 300-pound robot that was autonomous that would be used for crowd control. It's my understanding that the malls in either Dubai or Saudi Arabia or the UAE, somewhere over there with them rich, them Arabs, where the rich folks over there, there's supposed to be robots already in use in shopping malls over there. I don't know if you ever looked into it. I'm gonna put together some about this place over that they're building over in the Middle East called Neon. And it's supposed to be completely AI powered. And it's situated in such a place over in Saudi Arabia where you can get to Asia, Africa, Latin America, and North America, right? But I'm saying all that for this reason. Elon Musk, he's got actually more than Neuralink. It's actually more than that. He got something to go along with the Neuralink. That stuff there is a bear trap. But I imagine some people will be more than happy to upload themselves because they're not happy with their Earth suit. And when you put your body, which is magnificent in and of itself, that lets you know what hatred many people have for their own body. The human body is a magnificent design. And Elon Musk, Yuval Noah Harari, Ray Kurzweil, this Asian futurist, the black idiot, what's the black dude? Neil deGrasse Tyson, straight idiot, madman, psychopath. And he don't want it, and they don't want to, he a black dude. They don't want his ass around anyway. He just talking, thinking he part of the winning team. They gonna get his ass out there as soon as they turn the power on with these robots. But I have a video forthcoming with Musk. And I was just reading an article. I just read the I'm gonna go back later on tonight, but apparently Elon Musk has a factory that actually helps produce the shot, the vaccine. I didn't know that.
Wow.
And so what I'm gonna do, before you go off, if I can find it before you go off, I'll drop the link. But I know what I just read it this afternoon when I got off work. And what it is, I'll just name names. For the people in the chat room, y'all not messing with Children's Health Defense. If I were you all, I would strongly suggest that y'all subscribe to Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Children's Health Defense. You're gonna get videos, articles. They can't be touched. They can't be touched, and they are above board. So if I were you, I would get down with him. I know I am. So that's pretty much all I want to say. Elon, it's not what everything ain't peaches and cream with this dude, and what he said. I actually did yeah, I did a video a couple of days ago, entitled "The Future Doesn't Need Us," and he tells you right there, you Black Spring, me, Derek C. Williams, and others who may be listening. What are you going to do if your jobs are taken? And so he says he has an answer for that for the short term, the universal basic income. Now, if you remember, the presidential candidate in 2016, Andrew Wang, said that he wanted a UBI, and everybody, it does not matter if you're 18 years old, you get for a free $1,000 every month. Question: if the United States debt is $41 trillion, where they gonna get the money from? But that's what they're going to do in the short term before they start Xing people out, because the fact of the matter is the life extension technology, people uploading themselves or augmenting themselves. The average person, most ain't gonna do it, but most can't afford to do it. I don't know if you remember, but Sean Parker, he's a co-creator of Facebook. And he just said, yeah, I'm going to live to be 160 years old. And the quote was, I'm going to be your immortal overlord. So they are already working on trying to push back the aging process. I take resveratrol. That's good for those of us who don't have the cryogenic machines and things like that to slow down the aging process. But resveratrol is good. So I'll be 55 next month, so I'll let you judge. If you see me on YouTube, do I look like I'm in my 50s? I'll let you judge on whether or not it works.
No, you don't. You don't even look 54 or 53, Derek C. Williams. I'm just saying.
Well, thank you. You know, aside from exercising, lots of water, and keeping toxic people out your life, yeah. But I mean, like, that stuff is the truth. But Ray Kurzweil, is my understanding, he takes over 100 supplements a day to slow down the aging process. And there's I don't have the money, but I look into stuff like that. There's this place called the Reardon Clinic. I think it's in Kansas City, Kansas, and they stopping people from aging. Forget the adrenochrome. That's not. This place, the Reardon Clinic, is above board. But I'm saying all that for this reason. Elon Musk has something that in the works now, where they're going to put this thing online next either 23 or 24. But I'm gonna do a video about it over the weekend. I'll drop it then. But he talked about,
and I'll share it out.
Thank you. Well, you could do yourself not do yourself a favor. Take that back. Like I said, I did a video on my channel called "Why the Future Does Not Need Us," and he gives you a glimpse at what they got going on right now. You can see it for yourself. So that's pretty much all I want to say. And thank you for having me on your platform. All right.
Absolutely, Derek C. Williams. Now, could you tell us where can we find the video you said you already have that you've made? That they don't need us. That video, is it on your Odyssey, or is it on your page, your YouTube channel?
When I drop back down, I'll put the link in there for you. No problem.
Well, thank you so much, Derek C. Williams. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, Derek C. Williams. He is the prolific Derek C. Williams. I appreciate it, Derek.
Yes, ma'am. You take care of yourself, all right?
You too. Thank you again.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Salute.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And, we've had we've been chewing on AI and power moves and national digital IDs, and we're getting digitized, right? We're watching everybody else get digitized, and we're watching truth ministries and disinformation boards. And I'm telling you, this thing is, it's booming. But I'm going to be looking forward to this video that Derek is putting together, as well as some of his creations that he's done in the past. So thank you so much again, Derek C. Williams. I really appreciate that. And Old Head Deuce 22, you're in here. You're slipping in here. I appreciate it. So I just want to say hi to everybody really quick. I'm going to take a quick little break and to come back and say salute to everybody on your Friday night. And hope you are doing something for yourself over the weekend. If anybody got any Who has the best deal on food, extra food storage, or who's the best prices? Because I don't know. I think everybody's gouging a little bit. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to get into. Gosh, this stream could go on for some time if I go into some of that, because I think there's very specific items that they're talking about. The potential, the food shortages 2022 list of potential foods. Yeah, you got your dog food, baby formulas, all of that bit coming out of parade.com. So before I end that up, Pendulum is still out there. Just hope we don't get slowed down too much because I'm double fisting headlines here. But it happens around here. We'll see. We won't push it too far, but I may need to save that for later. But specifically, it was like aluminum cans, chlorine, baby formula, and dog food. I think the chicken and the turkey, those were the other shortages that they're listing. And I have that for you. It's taking a long time to process that. Okay. All right. So there we go. And I'm stuck in motion there. There you go. That's okay. Let's see. Let's put me into Derek C. Williams he says, go into overtime. I'm listening. Okay, let's go with it. Let me show you this one more time. You guys just coming in. I showed this list earlier from some of the plants, the meat packing plants. Okay, why the future doesn't need us here. Thank you for that, Derek C. Williams. I will grab it. And let's see. What do we have here? So let's have a quick look here. We got to give the people what they want. We got to give the people what they want around here. This is what they said. My Patriot Supply start there. Wow. Smart moves, Derek C. Williams. Let's see. We're going to go and share. We're going to go over to the parade, I believe, for food shortages 2022. It's getting to be a lot to chew on, no pun intended. All right, we're going to blow this thing up a bit. All right, so as you can see, your little basket, your little carts and everything. Okay, here are the groceries you might be missing on store shelves due to food shortages in 2022. All right, according to this, if you've seen your local grocery store with empty shelves, you're not alone. Food shortages are still haunting us in 2022. On March 24th, President Biden on food shortages due to a Russian invasion of Ukraine. Quote, it's going to be real, end quote, he said of food shortages. We did have somebody, the guy from the Rockefeller Foundation came out the other night saying the same thing. He's talking about global hunger and places, yeah. So I digress. Sorry. The price of the sanctions is not just imposed upon Russia. It is imposed upon an awful lot of countries as well, including European countries and our country as well. Both Russia and Ukraine have been the breadbasket of Europe in terms of wheat, for example, just to give you one example, end quote. All right, so here's a big thing down here. Just find out below what food shortages are most common, why there's a grocery shortage, and why shelves may be empty where you shop. So I don't know if I can get in here. Yeah. But I had a better screen earlier. I'm not sure if that's the one that we need, but here, according to this, the food shortages 2022, pork shortages may depend on where you buy your groceries, as there are regional differences in supply. And quote Josh Brazil, the VP of Supply Insights at Project 44, a supply chain visibility solution, says this means some of you may be lucky enough to not have any food shortages at all. What's missing from local grocery shelves may vary depending on where you live, as well as the climate where you live. Winter storms slow down supply chains in the short term, plus everyone rushes to buy bread and milk before a blizzard hits. Different regions may have shortages of different things, especially depending on whether you shop at big box stores or other shops like local farmers markets. Okay, so I wanted to go into the specifics, but let's just jump down to the current food shortages. Okay, so this one shows meat shortages, especially beef and poultry, will plague us again in 2022. Daniel says that the meat and poultry are in short supply in many supermarkets. This is due to several factors, with manufacturing plant labor shortages causing most of the issues. Beef will likely see the most shortages because work in beef plants is more labor intensive, according to the Food Business News. Now, somebody was describing to me earlier today that they thought that hamburger meat, I guess, or ground beef tastes pretty rubbery right now. So are you guys thinking we're dealing with GMO meats, or, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think the safe proteins are? You guys think it is more like not sell fish, right? Or cheek swabbed steaks, right? We don't want, oh my gosh, it's getting a little bit weird. Okay. That wiry chicken. Okay, dairy may be in short supply this year. A combination of expensive crops to feed livestock and chickens, combined with high transportation costs and shortages of packaging material, especially plastics, may cause dairy shortages at your local supermarket. In addition to material shortages, labor shortages may impact grocery shelves in terms of transportation workers as well as grocery workers to stock the dairy case. As a result, you may have fewer options in terms of your usual purchases of milk, cheese, especially cream cheese, yogurt, and other daily items. There may be an egg shortage. Now, I was looking at, was it Joe Collins? And he had a post not too long ago where out in LA, somewhere in LA, he was showing that the eggs were up to like $10. And I think you may have gotten like 18 eggs for something like that. Yeah, $18. I think I may have shown those images. But yeah, similar to other food shortages we've encountered, the CV-related supply chain issues have interrupted the business side of commercial egg production. Increased expensive feed, freight, labor costs, supply shortages, and government regulation have put a strain on the overall bottom line. As a result, producers may be reducing flock sizes, stop shipping to some states, or even selling eggs previously sold to consumers to manufacturers who use use them as ingredients in other products, thus producing eggs available in the supermarkets. Okay. And yeah, so I kind of want specifically, so this is where I started out. I talked about the aluminum cans. So here you go. That's, they talked about, you may see shortages in fruits, vegetables, and other goods, but here there will likely be a canned food shortage in 2022. High prices and low availability of aluminum may cause canned food and beverage shortages this year, much like the end of 2021. This extends not just to canned food, but also to pet food. Okay, we may see shortages of imported goods. Imported foods like cheese, boba, and other foreign-produced items may be in short supply due to availability, supply chain issues, and higher costs to transport goods overseas. All right, so here comes your pet food. You may experience a pet food shortage in 2022. Reuters reports that the increased cost for pet food ingredients like corn, soy, meat, soy, meat, and some specific oils have contributed to pet food shortages in certain retailers. Bottled water and soda shortages may occur. So you see, this definitely looks like a CV19 shelf in SoCal. You know, you get one toilet, you're limited in the number of toilet paper, paper towels, facial tissues, one each per household. Okay, so you can't go in there and do a supermarket sweep. All right, you can't. You're not going to be able to do it. Not this time. Okay. All right, Marty Lauderdale's coming in, and she says, "I've thought the chicken has been more rubbery the last couple of years." Joseph Francis Burton says, "Meat is definitely more expensive, but I've noticed no change in the taste or texture." Joseph Francis Burton says, "CA has mandated larger pens for eggs laying chickens for several years. Higher costs are inevitable." And Marty Lauderdale says, "Oh, I almost forgot. There's some kind of thing affecting fish too somewhere. I can't recall details. I can get info for next stream." Thanks so much, Marty Lauderdale. I appreciate that. And you can always send it to me, and I can share it out if you'd like. Just give me the green light, and I will share what I have. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to see like some of this. You see how much stuff is just coming out, and you can't hardly keep up. It's just so much stuff. But I really appreciate you guys so much for coming in on your Friday night. And we're going to go ahead and be saying so long. And yeah, well, yeah, a lot of going on, whole lot of going on here. Reasonability, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Okay, thank you guys so much for coming in. So let's take it from the top. And we're going to be saying so long to everybody on this evening. If you're watching us in replay, you'll see a couple of charts that I had uploaded earlier. You'll be able to see those. And of course, Derek C. Williams, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us the AI and some of the, some of the conversation and just some of your research or your hard work and research. And yes, and you got check Derek C. Williams out. He's got some things coming out, as well as he's posting some of his previous work in the stream. And Joseph Francis Burton says, good night. Thank you for the evening conversation. You got it. Marty Lauderdale says, yes, been meaning to email you. Yes, you can do it anytime. Anytime. I welcome that. I appreciate it. So let's go to the top and say so long and salute to everybody. It's a Friday night. It is the last Friday in the month of April. All right. So next time I see you, maybe it'll be a first Friday night, but next weekend will be Mother's Day if you're doing anything with that, or yeah. All right. So Marty Lauderdale was first in today. I want to say thank you so much, Marty Lauderdale. I appreciate you so much and for all your support. California Dreaming NYC, I thank you so much for coming in. Marcy T. Oh, you're at the Texas Alamo. Very nice. Very nice. We miss seeing you around here, Marcy T. You have to tell us all about it. All right, I apologize for that little interruption there. Okay, and who else? We had Joseph Francis Burton. Thank you so much, Joseph, for coming in and supporting us the way that you do. Angry Conservative was here. Thank you so much, Angry Conservative. You're the best. And most spirited for sure. We appreciate you. Anarchy Television, it's nice to see you as well. Joseph Francis Burton again. Uncool Paranoia. Love to have you on, Uncool. I'd love for you to come in and break some of this stuff down in the way that you do. Thank you so much, Uncool Paranoia. Love it, love it, love it. Old Head Dues 22. Thank you so much. He said, salute Think Tank. Okay. All right. We appreciate you for sure. And Freedom's March was here for a little bit. And I watched your video earlier today. Very, very nice video on Muskie. You know, everybody's talking about Elon Musk. And but I just don't think I don't think it's a patriot move. I don't. That's just what I don't think. Okay, Reasonability. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And Derek C. Williams says, as far as the meats and things, a lot of that may come down to your source. Luckily, the Amish are here in Pennsylvania. They ship nationally, I understand. Yes, they are. That is a huge Amish there, and I think Delaware has a pretty big community as well. So yeah, people that have gone back to that are in those lifestyles or in those communities, they are going to be well fed because I think they're already well nourished, and they're not going to be dealing with some of this nonsense. I don't know how much. Yeah, I don't know how much. I'm sure they're paying attention to what's going on as well. And I don't think they're going to have it. So we'll see what happens without a doubt. Oh, thank you so much, Reasonability. I'm trying to hang on because, I might be tagged for disinformation. Who knows? And not on here, but on Twitter. Derek C. Williams comes in and says it's Harari and Kurzweil. I'm worried about Musk in some ways, really does want to better the world, but he's still part of the problem in my view. Gotcha. So yes, I will take a look and see what's going on. Yeah, but did you say My Patriot, Derek C. Williams? My Patriot Supply, is that what you referenced? That would be excellent. Okay, let's have a look here. My Patriot Supply. And I want to make sure I get some of this stuff out of the chat before you guys go, because sometimes it's hard for me to get it after. It takes a while for the delay, and then I forget what I was doing. Let's see, Derek C. Williams. Okay, we'll open it up there, but I'm going to go ahead and say so long to everybody, and I want to thank you guys per usual for supporting the channel. Just your presence is the support that's needed. And Derek C. Williams, thank you so much for tuning in and for coming on. So okay, I'm getting I'm trying to get all the links out of you, Derek C. Williams. I really appreciate it. Okay, so now that it's in my little queue there. All right. All right, guys. Well, have a great rest of your Friday, and I'll see you guys around. Take care, and and stay prepared. Thanks so much. All right, guys. Somebody else coming in with another comment. There you go. My Patriot Supply. Okay. Thank you so much. Same to you guys. Have a great evening. And we are out of here.